The movie begins with Natalie and her boyfriend Matt enjoying a quiet, romantic moment. Natalie, originally from Spain, is excited when Matt, a charming American, suggests she move to the US with him. He promises to talk to his parents and make it work. Everything seems perfect, until the lights flicker. She turns, and Matt is dead, lying motionless before her. Suddenly, Natalie wakes up in tears. It was just a dream. The painful kind that reminds you of what you've lost. Because in reality, Matt is gone. He died in a tragic accident, leaving Natalie alone and pregnant. Now, months later, Natalie lives in isolation, still haunted by his memory. Whispers from her neighbors suggest she's lost her mind. They say she barely goes outside or speaks to anyone. But Natalie stares at a photo of Matt and makes a decision. It's time to move forward. 8 months pass. Heavily pregnant, Natalie returns to her job as a real estate agent. She's assigned a massive estate that's been on the market for years. Locals believe it's haunted. Determined to prove them wrong, Natalie explores the house on her own. It's grand, eerie, and oddly beautiful, with breathtaking mountain views and even a hidden elevator tucked behind a wall. One wing looks almost abandoned. Still, she cleans it up, hoping to impress potential buyers. Later, she speaks with her mother, who's worried. Natalie is due any day now, and labor could start at any moment. But Natalie insists. She promised her boss she'd close the deal. She's one of the firm's top agents and the only woman on the team. She won't back down. As the day wears on, Natalie finds herself overwhelmed. She breaks down in the bathroom, still mourning Matt. Her grief is raw and unresolved. Just then, a knock at the door. She wipes her tears, expecting a client. But when she opens it, no one's there. Puzzled, she steps outside. The street is empty. She shrugs it off and heads back inside, only to find a man already standing in the hallway. He claims he saw the for sale sign and let himself in. Natalie is confused but continues the tour. She walks him through the property, explaining its features. But something about this man feels off. He knows too much about the house, asks unsettling questions, especially about the previous owners. Natalie hesitates, then admits that years ago, a brutal murder happened here. The killer was never caught. The man smiles faintly and says he can still feel their presence. He even claims to have sensed something already. Natalie tries to stay professional, brushing off his comments. But as darkness falls, she grows increasingly uneasy. She eventually asks him to leave, and locks the door behind him the moment he's gone. She rushes to her car, but it won't start. Frustrated and anxious, she heads back inside and calls a mechanic. While waiting, she finds an old piano and begins to play. It brings her a strange comfort. But suddenly, another knock at the door. She checks again. And once more, no one's there. This time, something's different. The air feels heavier, charged. Natalie walks back inside, but now an eerie melody echoes through the house. It's coming from another room. She follows the sound, heart pounding, only to discover an old music player has somehow turned itself on. No one else is around. She shuts it off. Her phone rings. She answers. No one speaks, only the sound of heavy breathing on the other end. She whispers, "Hello? Who's there?" Silence. The call ends abruptly. Shaken, Natalie stumbles into the kitchen for water, unaware that in the distance, barely visible, a dark figure stands watching her. She's not alone, but she doesn't know it yet. A strange tension rises in the air. Natalie turns sharply, convinced someone is behind her. But there's nothing. Just then, the mechanic arrives. She hurries outside to meet him. As he checks the car, he casually comments, "Still trying to sell this place?" She sighs. No buyers yet. Then he says something that sends a chill down her spine. People around here say whoever buys this house ends up dead. Natalie stiffens. She asks him directly, was he the one who was inside earlier? But the mechanic looks genuinely confused. "Ma'am, I just got here." And then he discovers something even more disturbing. Someone cut the car's wires. This wasn't mechanical failure. It was sabotage. Suddenly, Natalie feels a wave of nausea. She rushes to the bathroom, vomiting from the stress, and from the pregnancy. Clutching her belly, she whispers to her unborn baby, "We'll make it through this night. I promise." Outside, the mechanic continues his work. But from the shadows, something approaches. Before he can react, he's violently attacked and killed. Inside, the power goes out. Natalie lights a candle and makes her way to the basement. There, she finds something she hadn't seen before, a narrow tunnel hidden behind a stack of shelves. Her instincts scream danger. She shuts the basement door and rushes outside, only to find the mechanic gone. Vanished. Terrified, she hears a noise upstairs. She climbs the stairs slowly, carefully, but finds no one. Then, water running. A faucet. She heads to the bathroom and opens the door. No one's there. Just the tap, left on. She shuts it off. The lights flicker violently, and then return. As she walks through the corridor, something moves behind her in the shadows. Someone's there. Watching. Then, the soft tune of a music box. Natalie walks to the window and sees it, the same music box, now mysteriously sitting outside. But then her eyes lock onto something far worse. The mechanic. Dead. His body mutilated in a pool of blood. Natalie gasps in horror, and suddenly, the contractions begin. Labor has started. She's trapped in the house. And now she knows, there's a killer inside, and he's not letting her leave alive. Footsteps echo. She runs to the terrace, hoping to climb to safety, but the pain is too much. Thinking fast, she grabs a sharp brick and heads back inside. She calls for the old elevator. The doors open. And he's there. The man from earlier. The fake client. She slams the button, and the lift begins its descent. But he races down the stairs, chasing her. As she reaches the ground floor, he lunges in, but Natalie strikes him in the face with the brick. He screams and falls back. She hits the button again, but he leaps up and shuts the power off to the elevator. It halts. She pries the doors open and tries to climb out, but her foot gets stuck. Her sandal falls off. At the last second, she pulls free and rolls to safety just as the elevator crashes down behind her. Bruised, limping, and in active labor, she stumbles outside and jumps into her car, desperate to escape. But it still won't start. She rushes to his car instead. It's locked. She breaks in. Inside, she finds something chilling. A government ID. Name, Parker Kent. Date of birth, 1947. Natalie stares at it in disbelief. This man isn't just dangerous. He's not who or what he says he is. Something doesn't add up. Natalie senses it before she sees it. And then, there he is. The client. Standing right in front of her. Frozen in fear, she bolts back into the house. But he follows, his voice cold and unhinged. You can't escape me. I know this house better than you ever will. I've lived here for years. This is my home. No one else belongs here. That's when it all clicks. The former homeowners didn't just die. They were murdered. And this man, he was behind it all. Panicked, Natalie locks every door and scrambles to call the police. But the line's dead. She rifles through an old cupboard and finds a tattered blueprint of the house. It shows something strange, a hidden tunnel in the basement, one that leads outside. She doesn't hesitate. Racing downstairs, she crawls into the narrow passage, dragging herself toward the metal grate at the other end. But her swollen belly keeps her from getting through. She's stuck. And then, she hears it. Something slithering behind her. She turns. He's crawling after her, like a serpent in the dark. With every ounce of strength, Natalie pushes forward, gritting through the pain, until she finally breaks free. Gasping for air, she scrambles back into the house and manages to reconnect the landline. This time, she reaches the police. But before she can exhale, glass shatters behind her. He's inside again. Natalie hides, heart pounding. He heads upstairs, unaware. She waits for the right moment, then strikes, tackling him through a window. Both crash to the ground, landing hard. When Natalie comes to, she sees him lying motionless. She tries to crawl away, but a piece of glass has pierced her foot. She pulls it out, barely holding back screams. Just as she attempts to move, a sharp contraction hits. Her body gives out. She's going into labor. Hours later, 2 police officers arrive. One helps her into the car. The other goes inside to investigate. Then, a scream. The killer ambushes the officer. The cop outside tries calling for backup, but gets no response. He locks Natalie in the car and runs to help. Gunshots. Then, silence. Natalie knows. They're both dead. Frantic, she spots a shotgun secured in the patrol car. With no key, she bends the metal divider and pulls the weapon toward her. She fires, shattering the window, and escapes the vehicle. But the killer is armed now too. He's taken one of the officer's guns. The hunt begins. Natalie limps through the decaying wing of the house, bleeding, desperate, when her contractions intensify. She's giving birth. Right here. Right now. Amid the chaos, she delivers a baby boy. Bloodied and exhausted, she cradles him close. Memories of Matt, the man she loved, flood her mind. In the middle of this nightmare, a new life has begun. But it's not over. Natalie hears footsteps. She stands, still holding the baby, and shoots. The killer drops. Natalie collapses. When she wakes, she's in a hospital. A doctor assures her, the baby is safe. But there's something else. They've captured the man who attacked her. He's in custody, under guard. They need her to confirm his identity. She does, without hesitation. It's him. Deep down, she wants to end him right then and there. But with cops watching, she restrains herself. Barely. Later that night, alarms blare through the hospital. Natalie knows. He's escaped. She races upstairs. 2 guards are already dead. He ambushes her, gun drawn. She dodges and runs to her baby. The killer follows. He grabs her by the throat, tries to choke her out, but Natalie fights back. She grabs a scalpel from a nearby tray and slices his throat. Not stopping there, she stabs him again. And again. And again. Until finally, he's dead. Bloodied and trembling, she holds her newborn son tight and walks away. And that's how it ends. A mother who became a warrior. A woman who turned into a killer, not out of hate, but to protect the only thing she had left, her child. But here's the final twist. The killer wasn't just some man. He was living inside the walls of that house, using crawl spaces and hidden passages to spy on residents. Every time someone new moved in, he watched, waited, and struck. People thought the house was haunted. But the truth? There were never ghosts. Only a monster hiding in the dark. In a house built on blood and secrets, she chose to fight, not just for her life, but for a new one she brought into this world. If this story gripped you like it did us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss another tale of survival horror and the human spirit pushed to the edge. Asterisk.